All right, well, my name is Sterling. This is my app. So I built, it's called Trail Companion. It's built in Ionic 1.3.2. So what sparked me to do this was my brother-in-law is an avid hunter, and he goes out in the backcountry, and this year he killed a buck, got lost, took him 2 days to get the buck out, like he had to go back, got lost on the way out, got lost on the way back in, and so that buck just sat there. So what I was able to do is using the Ionic framework, I could tap into the phone's GPS, which is actually completely separate from the need to use data. So your GPS on your phone can track without having any data usage. So this is my app. Now on my phone, this is actually working. Okay, so this is currently hosted. Unfortunately, because the computer doesn't have GPS location, I had to hard code some of this in. But so you guys can see, I'm gonna use my phone and the computer to show both. Right now, the first thing is here I can update the weather. What this does is it first pings the GPS to get the current longitude and latitude, then does an API pull through openweathermap.org, and when pushed, you'll see the current weather. Now this is hard-coded to here locally, so this is Devon Mountain's current weather. It has the current highs and lows for the day and tomorrow's forecast. On the phone, it does the exact same thing. Now, what's really cool about this is the GPS ping and the GPS location on here. So you're not going to be able to see, but when you hit GPS ping on the app, it does a single ping to the GPS satellites and it returns your longitude, latitude. When we move into the tracking, so on the left-hand side of the screen, what you'll see is this is my current database. I currently set it up for every 15 seconds, although when this does get ready to ship, you'll have the options of 5 or 10-minute pings. But you can start GPS tracking, and it sends up a notification. You can name it, so we'll name this Jeremy's Trail. And it probably helps to start everything, so that's gonna bust a little bit. But you can see, it does say Jeremy's Trail right here. So this is in my database, it shows all of this, and it has the current longitude, latitude. You can set a manual pin, and the manual pin is really nice because if you're out hiking and you find a place that you really like, you can drop a pin and you can go back to it later. So we'll do this, we'll just call it test, and that, you'll see it says null null. That's because we don't have any GPS location. This will take you to the current map, and this is our current map, Google Map API. It's fully functional. We can change it to just a standard map or the satellite map, satellite imagery. The other functionality of this is I do have background history on it, so using why you would use it. In the info, so my foreign key, I have the ability to save all the hikes. I also have new users that you can set up. You can set yourself up as a user and share your trails with your friends. And then I talked about the data, and then the technologies I used was the Ionic Framework 1.3.2, HTML, CSS, and Sass, Angular 1, Gulp. I did have to use the Android SDK and the Java JDK to actually emulate all of the phones on my computer. I used 2 API pulls, and then other tools that I used were the Devon Mountain Mentors, Ionic Labs, Unsplash.com, Heroku for my hosting, as well as Elephant SQL. And then I have About the Developer, About Me. On the phone, this actually does work. If you go, it's better on the phone. This will actually take you to a place where you can call me. Now, this is just for my own personal portfolio, so my hope is that someone will actually call me and say, hey, I want to give you a job. And then the last bit, I did actually add a couple Easter eggs. I know I'm over time, but to pay homage to our old mentors and the other tools that I used. These are my other tools. So our current mentors, Austin, John, and Brian, and then our former mentors, Isaac and Steve. These are fully functioning, so our current mentors, this is actually a button. Our current mentors, they tend to have a lot of answers, and they're really great about them, about giving me and providing the answers. The answers are always 42. And then, well, Isaac and Steve, this is for you. This is a nerd. If anyone knows Firefly, I want to curse your sentimental betrayal for leaving us. So that is my app, and thank you.